Express yourself, they said, be true to who you are. Yet the moment you dare to stand out, to let your voice echo through the corridors of conformity, they come for you. Not with open arms, but with clenched fists hidden behind backs adorned with velvet gloves. Attack, manipulate, use. The trifecta of societal engagement in the modern era. They'll laud your uniqueness only to twist it into chains designed to bind you to their whims and fancies. They say knowledge is power, but in this game, understanding the darkness wields the true control. I've danced with the shadows, wrestled with the deceit. My scars are my credentials, my experiences, the lessons you need. Join me. Let's illuminate the dark arts of manipulation, not to succumb, but to rise above, to turn their games against them. Consider the great symphony of history. Every note, every crescendo has been guided by the voices of those daring enough to speak. But beware, for not all ears that listen seek to understand. Some, hidden in the veil of anonymity, seek to distort, to dilute your voice with their own agenda. This power you wield is not merely the ability to make sounds, but to echo through the hearts and minds of those around you. It can inspire change, challenge injustice, and awaken the dormant spirits of the many who have yet to find their own voice. Yet, with great power comes the inevitable challenge. The world will push back, afraid of the truths you unveil, the mirrors you hold up to its imperfections. It is here, in the midst of resistance, that the strength of your voice is truly tested. But remember, warrior of words, that your voice, your power, is a beacon. In the darkest of times, it can be the light that guides the lost back home. It can tear down walls, build bridges, and heal the wounds of a world torn asunder. Yet, as your voice grows stronger, resonating with the truths you dare to speak, be wary. For within the light you cast, shadows begin to stir. These shadows, they are the silent watchers, the manipulators who lurk in the guise of friends, foes, and sometimes the faceless many. They listen not to understand, but to twist, to bend, to use your words as weapons against you. They are the masters of misdirection, the architects of confusion. They know that a voice that speaks truth is a threat to their dominion, a crack in the facade of their constructed realities. But do not be dismayed, for the awareness of these shadows is your armor. To speak knowing the darkness that awaits is to be prepared, to stand resilient against the tide of manipulation that seeks to erode your will, to mute your voice. It is a dance as ancient as time, light and shadow, truth and deceit. Your voice is the beacon, your awareness the shield. The shadows may lurk, but they falter in the face of resolve, of the unyielding spirit that knows its power and refuses to be dimmed. So let them come, these shadows. For each attempt they make to quench your light, you will burn brighter, your voice echoing louder, a clarion call that pierces the darkness, a signal that you are not one to be silenced, manipulated, or used. Remember, the presence of shadows is proof of your light. Stand tall, speak your truth, and let no darkness dull your shine. Ah, but the battlefield of voices and shadows is vast, and therein prowl the puppeteers, masters of strings, weaving webs of deceit with the skill of seasoned artisans. They watch from the darkness, their eyes gleaming with the thrill of the game. To them, your voice, your essence, is but a toy to be twisted, a spirit to be broken. Oh, how they revel in the control, the power to make one dance to their sinister tune. But what are puppeteers without puppets? What are manipulators without the naive belief in the honesty of shadows? Yet here lies their folly. For every string they think to pull, for every move they believe hidden in darkness, there is you who sees through the charade, you who stands not as a puppet, but as the puppeteer's bane. Let them underestimate, let them smirk in the shadows, for in their arrogance they forget the strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire, and the most resilient spirits are birthed from the depths of deception. So to the puppeteers lurking in the shadows, a toast. Your strings are cut, your illusions shattered, for in this arena we are not mere players in your twisted symphony, we are the conductors of our own fate. Remember, the game changes when the puppets awaken, when the silenced voices roar. We are the awakened, the unbound, the heralds of a new dawn where puppeteers fear to tread. Puppeteers among us, no more. We are the masters of our voices, the architects of our destiny. Here in this realm of endless possibilities, the puppeteers and the awakened clash, their strategies as diverse as the souls that walk this earth. But beware, for this game is no child's play. It is the crucible in which fates are forged, destinies are rewritten. To the manipulators, the deceivers, the players of shadows, your game is understood, your tactics foreseen. You move in silence, believing the night conceals your intentions. But in this game, every shadow cast by your deceit only serves to highlight your presence. And to you, warriors of light, navigators of the chessboard of life, know this. Your strength lies not in avoiding the game, but in mastering it. In each move there is a lesson, in each challenge an opportunity to rise. So let the game proceed, let the puppeteers weave their plots, their pawns advancing in the dark. For with each move they make, they reveal themselves, and with each revelation, your resolve hardens, your strategy sharpens. This is the moment, the turning of the tide, where the chessboard of life becomes the ground on which the shadows retreat, outplayed and outmatched by the very souls they sought to control. Remember, in this grand game of light and shadow, it is not the king who holds the power, but the player who understands the board. You are that player, the master of your moves, the architect of your victory. Behold the marks of a true warrior. Not the pristine skin of the untested, but the scars of those who faced the darkness and emerged victorious. These scars, they are not signs of weakness, but of battles endured, of deceptions unraveled, of puppeteers faced head-on. They are your credentials in the grand theatre of life, where each wound is a lesson, each scar a diploma of survival. To the architects of shadows, the weavers of lies, how do you perceive these marks? Do you see defeat, or do you tremble at the sight, knowing each scar represents a soul you could not bind, a will you could not break? Let them stare. Let them see the map of our journeys etched into our skin, for every line tells a story of defiance, of refusal to succumb to the strings of puppeteers, of standing tall in the face of adversity. These scars are our armor, forged in the fires of manipulation, hardened in the crucible of deceit. They shield us, guide us, and remind us of the battles we've won, the lessons we've learned. So to those who lurk in the darkness, know this: our scars are not your trophies. They are our proof of victory, our declaration that we have faced the worst, and not only survived, but thrived. Scars as credentials, our unspoken testament to a life fiercely lived, battles fiercely fought, and victories fiercely won. In the arsenal against the puppeteers, knowledge is but the first blade. Sharp, yes, but it is understanding that wields it with precision, turning superficial cuts into decisive strikes. Knowledge tells us the puppeteer exists, outlines the shadowy forms of manipulation and deceit. But understanding reads between the lines, sees the unseen, hears the unspoken. It is the light that illuminates the darkness, the key that unlocks the chains. To those who dwell in shadows, thriving on the ignorance of their prey, this distinction is their downfall. They assume knowledge alone is our limit. But with understanding we decode their whispers, we predict their paths, we dismantle their traps before they spring. Let them smirk in their complacency, for as they play their games, we forge our path through the maze of their deceit. Knowledge may show us the game, but understanding teaches us the rules, the players, and the way to victory. This is the journey from knowledge to understanding. It is not merely to know the existence of shadows, but to understand their nature, to anticipate their moves, and to navigate the battlefield with the grace of a seasoned warrior. So, to the puppeteers, the manipulators, the architects of illusion, beware. Our understanding is the dawn that breaks your eternal night. Your secrets, once cloaked in darkness, now lay bare under the gaze of our enlightenment. Now, as we stand amidst the battleground of shadows and light, a new weapon is drawn, not of steel, but of illumination. To illuminate the dark arts is to render the unseen seen, the hidden exposed. The puppeteers, those architects of deceit, operate in the veil of ignorance, their power drawn from the darkness of untruths. But what happens when their veil is torn, their tactics laid bare for all to see? Oh, how they squirm, these masters of manipulation, when the light of awareness pierces their veil. Their dark arts, once feared, now become lessons in the handbook of the vigilant. This illumination is our declaration of war against the darkness. Each revelation, each truth uncovered, is a strike against those who would use the shadows to control, to diminish, to ensnare. And in this light we find unity, strength, for the illuminated are not alone. We stand together, a beacon to those still navigating the shadows, a guide to those seeking the path out of manipulation. So to the puppeteers, the weavers of shadows, your reign comes to an end. Your secrets, once your shield, are now your undoing. We see you, we expose you, and we stand not in fear, but in defiance of your dark arts. Illuminate the dark arts. It's not just our defense, it's our offense. In knowledge and understanding, we find our light. And in sharing this light, we ensure the shadows never again claim dominion over us. In illumination, we find freedom, strength, and the dawn of a new era free from the chains of manipulation. With our journey through the night now behind us, a greater challenge beckons: rise above the game. It's not enough to simply expose or understand the shadows. True power lies in transcending them. The game, as they play it, is one of deceit, a maze designed to entrap, to disillusion. But what happens when we refuse to play by their rules, when we forge our own path, guided by the light of our collective wisdom? To the puppeteers, the manipulators, this is your final defeat. Your game thrives on compliance, on unchallenged rules. But here we stand, rewriting the playbook, defying the very foundation of your power. This ascent is our rebellion, our declaration that we are no longer pawns in a game rigged against us. With each step, we dismantle the mechanisms of control, building a new game, one where integrity, truth, and unity reign supreme. And so, as we stand on this summit, looking back at the path we've conquered, let it be known, we didn't just survive the game, we transcended it. Our scars, our knowledge, our understanding have all forged us into architects of a new reality. So let the shadows recede, let the puppeteers fade into obscurity. We are the dawn bringers, the game changers, the light bearers who rise above the game. Rise above the game. It's not just an act of defiance, it's our evolution. From the depths of manipulation, we emerge not just unscathed, but unshackled, ready to create a world where the dark arts have no dominion. In rising, we find not just elevation, but enlightenment, not just victory, but a new vision for the future, one where we all walk in the light, together. From the shadows we've illuminated to the summits we've ascended, our journey finds its true purpose, not at the end, but in the next beginning. This is our call to action, a summon to the awakened, to those who've seen through the veil and dared to rise. The game of shadows never truly ends. Its architects are ever scheming, ever weaving new webs of deceit. But armed with our scars, our knowledge, our understanding, we stand not just as survivors, but as beacons. To those who lurk in the darkness, Know this, your time is ending. For every shadow you cast, 1,000 lights will shine. For every chain you forge, 1,000 links will break. This call to action is not just a declaration of war against the darkness. It is a pledge of allegiance to each other, to the light we bring when we stand united. It is a vow to keep the flames of awareness, of defiance, of hope, ever burning. So let us carry this torch together, into the corners still shrouded in shadow, to the hearts still ensnared in chains. Let our collective light be a guide, a warning, a symbol of the new dawn we usher in. The puppeteers, the architects of shadows, they fear this most of all, not just the light of a single flame, but the inferno of united spirits. They fear the day we realize our true power lies not in rising above the game, but in rewriting it together.